inspire, empower, grab your girls and soar a little higher. Unlock the fire in you, cause real women don't bitch, no. Real women don't, 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 real women don't bitch.
Hey, thank you for joining me on the Real Women Don't Bitch podcast. This is your proud host, August Crenshaw, aka Mrs. Raw, Real, and Relentless. I am the #1 advanced mental conditioning specialist for entrepreneurs because building mental muscle is necessary in order to implement successful business strategies. This show has been created for the woman who is not excuse-driven and needs help building a profitable business. I will be interviewing women from various fields who are willing to break the silence on struggles that specifically affect female entrepreneurs. Welcome to a show where I and guest speakers from time to time share our methods that help us beast our business no matter what is going on in our lives. Whether you are an online or brick and mortar business owner, this show is for you. We will hit every angle, personal, professional, and spiritual. Why? Because on any given day, you get hit with shit from a scenario involving one, more, or perhaps all of the above. It all impacts you and your mindset towards your business. I have made it my personal mission to provide a space where we dive deep into the BS we face on a day-to-day basis. I promise you, I think this is probably going to be one of the fastest podcast episodes that I've done, but I believe that it will be very impacting. I was listening to something. This sister was on this video and she was clowning. And overall, please believe I respect what she said. And I'm not saying that what she said was wrong, but the way my brain functions, once she said what she said, my mind took it a step further. And she was like, if you give average, you're going to get average. And, the whole time I'm watching the video, I'm like, woo, yeah, girl, tell it. And immediately my brain said, that's not true. That is not true. Think about it. The people who perform at an average standard, at an average pace, average rate, average whatever the hell it is that you wanted to talk about, when it's time to get in the world of survival, even as whether it's as an employee or as an entrepreneur, you get the shit end of the stick. You don't get average. You actually reap below average. Whoa. Let's think about this because this is the different rates. If you do average work, you will get an average grade. You'll get that C- or something like that. But when you show up in life, when you show up in your business and you only do average, you get chaos. So this isn't even necessarily just only on the business tip. I mean, if I was an average mother, then I could see my children being like, oh, she ain't really paying attention to me. Oh, she's busy. I mean, she okay. She average, she makes sure that I have something to eat. She does the things that you should do to not be a total failure as a parent, provides a roof over my head, et cetera, et cetera. That child would be off the freaking chain unless they just were born with some type of gene code where they were just naturally good. There are some kids that are like that, but most children are naturally inquisitive, and being an average parent will get you some rambunctious children. Try being an average wife or an average husband. And I said that like that because I'm about to say something and I do not want this to sound sexist because it can go both ways. But if you half-ass, you barely show up in your marriage, like, well, I did the good things. I at least made sure I washed the clothes. I cooked. I made dinner. I went to work. I made sure that the bills were paid. When you do average, then you don't live like, okay, well, everything is pretty good in my life. You're like, I just can't stand this. It just seems like no matter what I do, I'm not appreciated. You don't get average for average. You have to perform above average to get a taste of average, and it's a muscle that's built upon. And I believe that this is what's wrong with a lot of entrepreneurs, is that you think that, well, you know what, as long as I get by, I'll still be okay. And then entrepreneurship literally eats your ass alive. See, you can do half-ass work and be okay and get by at a job, but please understand, your average performing behind is more than likely working at a job that is not average, because if it was, you wouldn't have super duper high, quality of life, but at least your bills would be paid and you would be fine. And the people that are in that place, they are robbing Peter to pay Paul. That's why they have payday loans all over the place. That's why credit card debt is so high. That's why people make a payment arrangements on bills all the time. Because when you are less than average, then you get whatever piece of shit job they give you at whatever rate they give you. Average people have to settle. If you have an average credit score instead of a good or excellent credit score, you don't get an average interest rate. As soon as you drop down from good or excellent, it's almost like it's all dropped in the same bucket. Other than the fact really, really bad credit would be an outright denial. 29%, 23% interest rates and shit like that. That's not average. That is abysmal. It is below average. And I want you guys to think about this. Everything in your life, what does it look like? What does it feel like? Because I'm going to tell you something, and I don't regret any of it. But in order to have an above average lifestyle where my husband and I can work together, love each other, be highly attracted to each other after 13 years of being together, I can't get by just being average. Average with the way I compliment him, the way I see him, and vice versa from him. Average with my sexual attraction. Average with how I treat him like a king. No, there has to be honor there. No kids are perfect. But in order to groom the kind of children that I have, that means, you know what? Well, the average parent may do this, but as for me and my children, this is how I'm going to raise them and help them be wiser and better. And these are the kind of things that I'm going to do with them so they feel even more love. My business, I had to perform above average, where the beginning entrepreneurs were on average maybe dropping a program once every quarter or 6 months, almost every 30 days. I was dropping something, offering something, because I'm like, somebody up in this joint is going to hire me to be their coach. They are going to start buying my books. Come on now. It takes above average work to get a breakthrough, and then you build upon that. So ask yourself every time you look at what you're doing, and if you are performing at an average rate, then just understand you're going to have a shitty business. That's your nugget for you to chew on today. This is your girl. I'm Outie 5000. See ya. Thank you for joining me today. Remember to cultivate a mindset that is biased towards taking action. No bitching, whining, or complaining. Here, our mantra is, real women don't bitch, we get shit done. See you next week as I continue to bring you what you need to keep your head in the game and beast your business. Don't forget to hit subscribe and leave us a 5-star review. Would you like a specific topic covered? Have a question you would like answered live? Then head on over to realwomendon'tbitchpodcast.com. Subscribe to my email list, hit me up, and I got you. Interested in being a guest speaker? You walk the walk? Then you can sign up on the website too. This is your #1 advanced mental conditioning specialist for entrepreneurs, Mrs. Raw, Real, and Relentless. Signing out. Deuces.
Inspire, empower, grab your girls and soar a little higher. Unlock the fire in